Well, if I had £1 for every young athlete, especially soccer football players, that have come to me through injuries and their career is over before it started, you know, they get to 17 and instead of being taken up from an academy, they're injured, their knees are gone, their hips are gone, their ankles are gone. Like, I've seen it for years and years, guys. I used to work at the North London High Performance Centre and I used to see these broken young football players all the time. Their mums and dads are beside themselves because they had this super talented young person who was going to play professional football quite likely, and they're cast by the wayside. Mate, there are so many people that are cast away before they've reached their true potential. And you know what the problem is? You get overtrained. You get overtrained because once you get to a certain age, they start pushing you on all the exercise, right? Most coaches don't know what exercise is anyway, right? They have no idea what the true definition is of exercise. Sorry, but they don't. I'm just being honest, all right? I'm not smarter than anybody else. I'm not smarter than anybody else, but I've been around a long time and I've learnt a lot of stuff, okay? I've learnt a hell of a lot, and I've done this professionally, okay? This is my business. This is what I do day in, day out, and I've done it for the last nearly 20 years, and before that training myself. But yeah, getting back to young football players, honestly, I see these young guys crying in my practice because they're no longer able to do what they want to do. And all their coaches are going to say is, move along, next. Because they don't care. No one cares about you, lads. They do not care. You have to be more informed about your body and what its capabilities are, and you need to put that trust in people that you can trust. But it's a minefield. It's an absolute minefield. You never know what you're going to get. You know, ask your coach, if you're a football player or a rugby player, something like that, ask your coach, what's the true definition of exercise, right? Write that down and come back and tell me what they said, and I'll tell you whether they've got any idea about exercise or how they answered that. Because they should be able to sum it up in about 30 seconds. It doesn't take long. Know who you're dealing with. Ask that question and then send it to me. Message me below. I'll help you and guide you, because I want people to stop getting hurt, realise their true potential, you know, especially if you're a young lad, right? Especially if you're a teenager, like from 16, 17, 18, 19, that sort of age, into your early 20s. I've seen these football academies, right, that have soccer players, football players, right, running around doing ridiculous exercises. Well, they're not exercises actually, but activities. They're doing ridiculous activities and doing weight training so badly, right, that it will have a negative crossover into your playing. If you're not training properly, then you're going to take on negative aspects of the exercise that you're doing. Not only that, but if you're doing these exercises, like I'm talking about resistance training, and by the way, I know I'm going on a little bit, but resistance training is the best single thing, apart from practicing your skill, the best single thing you can do to help train all the trainable systems of your body. Only one thing does that, and that is resistance-based training. Anybody else who has an argument against that, okay, sorry, but move along, not listening. Been there, done that, we've got the evidence, it's been there for decades and decades and decades, since the 1950s, which for some of you young lads is like, that's a million miles away, isn't it? Well, guys, honestly, find out what your coach is telling you to do. And if you are doing 3 lots of weight training per week, and you are an avid soccer player, football player, or a rugby player, or you're doing tennis, and you're doing 3 lots of resistance-based training a week, right? I'm telling you now, message me below, because I'm going to save you, right? I'm going to save your body, I will save your money, and I will save your time so quickly you won't believe it. And do you know what else, right? Once I explain to you and you actually get it into your head how to actually train yourself, right? You'll have it for the rest of your life. You won't need to pay anybody ever, because you'll know what you've got to do. Pretty much. I mean, obviously we can take it to different levels. don't be duped by a lot of these social media accounts out there and big wig trainers and exercise coaches, and you just don't need it. Okay, just do not need to go to that level. Guys, again, a 5-minute video, it's a little bit long, sorry about that. Please, if this is helping, message below, right? Let me know, right? Let me know that my work, my tips are actually helping somebody out there. Thanks guys, you take care. I'm Coach Neil Southwick, guys. I go by King of Me on Instagram and King of Me 13 on TikTok, and I might start a YouTube channel if you guys think it's really worth it, because I think I've got a lot of information up here. You know, I've been educated, I've done the education, I spent 10 years. Anyone who knows me knows how I went through all the different training schools to learn everything that I learned. And I've worked in, like I said, I've worked up at elite level, and I've worked down at the very bottom as well. I mean, I started off, I didn't even earn anything for the first year when I was training. I remember getting my first £5 note. It was amazing. And I've still got it as well. All right guys, that's it. Look after yourselves, yeah, and get better educated. If you think I can help you, if you think what I'm saying resonates with you, send me a message and I'll save you a lot of bother. I really will. Take care guys.